Welcome back to my channel, The Movie Optimist, where I try to find the silver linings in even the worst of films. I saw Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse so many years ago, and they introduced me to a character I didn't know I needed, but that I absolutely loved, and that was Spider-Noir, played or voiced by Nicolas Cage. For me, personally, he was the standout next to Miles. Obviously, Miles took the cake in that movie. He is the best character. He is rivaling Peter Parker for me in terms of who is the better Spider-Man. If I'm being honest, I enjoyed Miles Morales, the game, more than I enjoyed Spider-Man 1, and through the entirety of Spider-Man 2, whenever I was able to switch to Miles, I opted to play as him because his moveset is infinitely better, and I also just like his story better. I love Miles as a character. I can't wait for him to show up in the MCU. I'm rambling at this point, but that is not what I'm here to talk about. I loved the Spider-Noir character because my background in loving films is very rooted in noir. I love old school detective movies, Seven, Blade Runner, The Maltese Falcon. I love a gumshoe movie about a detective investigating a crime, and I love those old school black and white style movies. Sin City, and specifically, was very important to me because it was a modern movie told in a setting with a look that felt very old because it was predominantly in black and white where they had bursts of color like reds come through, and it was really creative and inventive, and it left an impression on me. And me myself, I am filming my own little 45-minute short film that I'm putting into festivals called In the Cold of Night that is inspired heavily from Sin City. So this past week we were treated to the first glimpse at a live-action Amazon Prime series of Spider-Man Noir being played by Nicolas Cage, and oh my god, does it look absolutely incredible. It's my favorite movie genre in the noir category, with one of my all-time favorite superheroes in that said genre, in that black and white style that I so love as a creative style, and it just feels like a show that's made for me. It is oozing so much badass charisma. I hope they do the inner monologues where he's like talking out loud in his head, because that's such a typical noir thing to do, where the detective walks down the wet city streets breaking down the case out loud for us to hear even though he's not actually speaking. I hope we get that. The combat in this trailer looked great. Nicolas Cage's costume looks great. I do wonder though if that is Nicolas Cage in the costume or if they're pulling a Mandalorian where he's only voicing the character but he's not actually in the costume, because look, at the end of the day, Nicolas Cage is an old dude. I don't know if he could pull off that flying jump off the wall into a Superman punch onto one of those thugs in that apartment. That seems like something that they would need a stunt double for. Maybe he's only going to do the scenes that don't require him to be a physical badass, but that's okay. I don't mind. I'm just curious. I think that this show looks incredible. I can't wait to get a full trailer. It actually took me by surprise. I completely forgot the show was even coming because it was announced like 3 years ago, and then there was a bunch of drama that took place behind the scenes with budgetary problems where the people making the show wanted a bigger budget for it to make it look more cinematic, and I think it's MGM Studios that are co-partnering with this, and they just don't have a lot of money to make shows like that, so there was this big problem. But I'm glad to see that they got past it, and I'm glad to see that it's going to see the light of day, because again, this just feels like a superhero show tailor-made for me, and yeah, it just really worked for me. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you excited to see this show? Did you even know it was coming? Because if you're not involved in the zeitgeist of the world of movies, I can't imagine you even knew it was happening. So what are your thoughts on that? Anyway, let's talk about it in the comments down below, and as always guys, I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll catch you next time.